What is up, people? All right. Boom, officially live. And boom, officially live on RG. All right. What is up, people? What is up, people? Today is June 6th. Haiti Biz News Show, Monday to Friday, bringing you news that's going to keep you informed, engaged, and reacting in the most optimal way for your business, investment, and entrepreneur activity. Right? You already know. We're doing lives this week. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday we can get back to what we usually do. We have a very busy schedule this week. We had an awesome weekend where we went out to an incredible location, incredible eco lodge, and out not too far out of Port-au-Prince, and we're really excited to get this produced and out before the week is too far gone. And so the focus right now is on that. And this month in general is going to be a very high octane month. We're looking forward to doing a lot of different stuff throughout the week, and it's just a really exciting time. So I can't stress, I can't say it enough how excited we are to be able to start producing some of these things this week. And to balance things out, I got to focus my team on those things, and we're going to do some lives instead to do some offsetting. Right? Let's go ahead and close this window down a little bit of noise going on outside. Bear with me. All right, a little bit better. All right. So we're going to talk about today Haiti's first national credit union, right? Haiti's first national credit union, an incredible story. HaitiBizNews.com, HaitiBizNews.com, HaitiBizNews.com. This article is from Haiti Now. Haiti Now is a newer informational news site, up and coming. We look forward to seeing some great articles and great content from these guys. I'm confident that as time goes on, they're going to be producing some really good stuff like this article here. But you can see the article in full, HaitiBizNews.com, or you can go straight to their site, Haiti Now. And this article is talking about something that's very important, very critical, which is credit unions. We don't really have had a formal true credit union at the scale that we have it through the National Union of Christian Cooperatives. These guys are in every department, every commune, in some form or fashion have presence, and where they're not formally have a branch, they're looking to put a branch in there. They've been in operation for a while, at least for 2011 or so. They have 42 members. 43,000 members. Excuse me. They have 43,000 members and 34 branches, and a presence, again, as I mentioned, in about all the 10 departments. And they have a portfolio of $6 million portfolio. And again, what's crucial, if anyone who have had the opportunity to either do a credit union versus a bank, you know that a bank has a very different allegiance versus a credit union. A credit union is owned by the members. A credit union keeps the money that it's getting usually in the community. They provide more favorable rates for loans. They provide more favorable rates for business loans, for mortgages, for car loans. And what's great too is that the interest off the balances are usually much higher to the members versus a bank. So in every way, credit unions are usually the preferred way to go from a perspective of building wealth and growing and saving. The banks do provide some benefits. Usually they're a little more connected to folks who are doing more transactions, who are traveling abroad. But when it comes to just being a community member, credit unions are where it's at. And we really haven't had credit unions in Haiti. In fact, there was a push to get them out, and there was a pushback from traditional banks that were trying to keep them from expanding. Because as you know, the biggest threat, our biggest competitor to a bank generally are credit unions, right? And so there's been pretty big pushback from them. In fact, they were able to get the legislators in Haiti, which legislators don't really do much, but they was able to get them to pass a law that basically said credit unions are restricted to the departments that they're in, and which is greatly restricted the National Union of Christian Cooperatives and their credit union. And so instead, what they did was open up a credit union in every single department. I can imagine the cost associated with that is pretty high. Each time you have to incorporate, that's a cost. That's time lost and spent. Anyone who's had to work within the Haitian legal system already knows that's having to do it 10 times, right? But they did it because there's a greater mission here, which is empowering folks to be able to do things that traditional banks, even the best case, really don't do, and particularly Haiti won't do. And usually credit unions, really, what's great about them is that they are in line with the culture of Haiti, right? Haiti has if any folks who know about what soul is, anyone who's been in Haiti, worked in Haiti, owned a business in Haiti, had a few employees, eventually you'll be approached by employees and say, hey boss, we're trying to do a soul, which is basically, it's as many members as folks have. Each month they put in a certain amount of money. Let's say, 5,000 good, each month they're all put in. But then one person who's a part of it receives the entirety of this amount. So we have 5 folks putting 5,000 good, right? That means that's 25,000 good one person gets. And the next month it goes to another member. And the next month it goes to another member. And the next month it goes to another member, right? So everyone is okay with losing a little bit of money each month, but they get this large lump sum to them that can really do something. That large lump sum helps folks go through tuition, helps with some medical costs sometimes, helps with paying rent, because rent in Haiti is done in a one lump sum fashion for over 1 year. And it's really done by coworkers, but there's other places other ways and other circumstances it's done. But so that community style of operating financially, it's part of the Haitian culture, right? It's part of the Haitian culture. And so it just makes sense that credit unions make a lot more sense in Haiti than banks, right? And so we have, we'll keep a close eye on these credit unions and how they operate and how they're growing. But so far they're doing well, and certainly at some point down the future, I'm going to try to get a SeeJeanty Sights and Sounds or Haiti Business Spotlight episode where we'll be, in a branch. Hopefully you can meet, the president, the PDG, as they say, and have a sit down interview, because this is fantastic. Because a big part of Haiti's economic progress or recovery is going to be institutions like that are providing important, critical services for the populace as a whole, right? I want to say shout out to a few folks who are watching me live right now. Jerome Reyes on YouTube. What's up, brother? Appreciate you. All right. And so that's the news we wanted to share today. Real quick and easy and dirty, story about, what's going on with credit unions and this incredible, story. Again, Haiti Biz News.com, HaitiBizNews.com, right? Bradley Rollins just popped in on Facebook. How you doing, brother? I just shared the credit union story that your site provided. So, if you missed the first part, you can always be able to rewind this once we've officially wrapped up. So that's what the story is about today. Mr. Terry 2000 just popped into YouTube. What is up, my brother? In fact, I'm glad you're on. Because we're going to read some of your comments on air here. Mr. Terry 2000 has been a longtime follower of SeeJeanty and always commenting. I'm always responding. I appreciate his engagement. So a big shout out to you. And what was I going to respond to? Here we go. I just found the comment. Basically, Mr. Terry had this question, and I'll read it to you. Now that I watch all your videos, I noticed you never post a video discussing how we take advantage of credit card reward points to travel to Haiti and the credit and the credentials we would need to make yourself legal and legal in the country, right? So let's talk about it. The first part, credit cards. Probably do need to do a more formal sit down on this, but we have a couple different things we're juggling here. But I certainly did want to engage it now, and then probably in the future we'll probably do something more formal with it. And so there's a couple different sites that are going to do a much better job of breaking down the system than I would. For example, if you do Mr. Points Guy, just type in Points Guy on in Google. There's a guy who makes his living off of using different point systems that these credit cards offer, the reward system that these different credit cards offer. And I mean, they're able to do incredible things such as travel to Japan, first class from the United States for free in first class. This is like a $3,000 deal. I know folks who were visiting all across India and Asia and Europe strictly on their points. And basically the idea is to do this. All these credit cards. Well, first off, you gotta have good credit. That's number one. You gotta have good credit, right? I'm talking about some, in the 720s plus. That's number one. So if you don't have good credit, pause this video and then come back to it, because you're gonna have to do some things to improve your credit score. Pay down some debts that are outstanding. If you don't have any debt at all, get a car loan. Open up, or then basically these credit card companies are throwing offers at you. I mean, it's not much science to it. You're going to sit, you're going to apply, to some of the best companies that provide the best rewards. Chase has some excellent rewards, so check out Chase. B of A, not really. B of A really doesn't have good rewards. I wouldn't waste too much time with Bank of America. Amex is always going to be solid. Amex has some great deals, and then the airlines themselves. JetBlue, especially if you're coming to Haiti, JetBlue has a really good rewards program. So apply to JetBlue. You want to apply to American has a terrible rewards system. Terrible. It used to be somewhat halfway decent, but within the past year, it is tanked. It is not even worth it. I'll be honest. I'd say really your go-to is going to be getting a JetBlue card, and the prerequisite, once you get these cards, there's a minimum spend, right? So usually they ask within 3 months you have to spend $1,000, which isn't too hard. You just make sure every single bill goes through that card. Everything goes through that card. Even someone who's making 30 or 40,000 a year, if you put all your bills and every transaction you do through that card, within 3 months, you'll spend $1,000, right? And so once you hit that minimum spend, then right away, within usually a 2-3 week turnaround, you get those points. And those points, you can just, they have a portal. Each of these cards have a portal, and then you can then spend your reward points on traveling to Haiti, right? And not spend a thing. And a lot of these points, they're usually equivalent to about $1,000. So you get about $1,000 worth of points of free airline tickets for doing nothing more but what you usually do, which is spend. Again, don't go out and spend more or anything, right? And especially if you can align it to a particular point in time where, for example, around Christmas shopping, right? Spending goes up, right? There's a particular time where you're going to be spending a lot of money anyways. That's a perfect time to get a new rewards credit card and then spend on that card and then reap the benefits. So yeah, I just gave you the for when it comes to Haiti particularly, and another thing too, consider getting a Marriott credit card, Marriott rewards. That's also through Chase Bank, and Marriott, as you know, is in Haiti, and it's a great place to stay because we're centrally located. So getting a Marriott rewards is going to be beneficial. Hilton for a while has been talking about trying to come in the country. I mean, officially bought Calico Beach, but I still haven't seen anything. This has been going on since 2015, 2014. But Hilton is something you want to get because eventually they are going to be here. They've been talking about being here for a while. So you're going to have that card. And so really those are the big tips I can tell you. Get your credit score up. It's about 720. And then get a Chase reward card, get a JetBlue reward card, and get a Marriott reward card. Amex would be good as well, potentially. So those 4 cards, they give you a lot of mileage, particularly for the Chase. And Chase has a lot of 2-3 different cards you can get, from the reserved to the preferred to the business card. And all those each one of those have rewards that give you $1,000. So you get all those 3 cards. That's over $3,000 worth of airline flights. Hello, are you kidding me? Right? And then JetBlue has another 1,000. That's over $4,000 worth of free flights. So do you understand me when I tell you I don't pay to come in and out of Haiti? You understand me, right? So check those cards out, and that's really the rundown and skinny on that topic, right? And the other question Mr. Turk 2000 had was credentials to make yourself legal. I can only answer that within the limited scope of my situation. And my situation was that because I was born in Haiti and I left when I was 3, and my parents fortunately birthed me in the city. I was birthed in the hospital in Kafou. They had paperwork, because a lot of times folks who are born outside the city don't have paperwork, right? So they had paperwork. They had my an actual birth certificate that they held, for me. And then so when I was ready to come back and do some things, I went to my folks, hey mom, pop, do you have a birth certificate for me? And they said they did. They gave it to me. And then with that, I took it to the National Archives here in Haiti, which is like the national registry of everybody's, when you're born, when you get married, when you die, they record that, right? And so I went there, provided them my birth certificate. They gave me an official National Archive, which shows that I am a legal person of the country. And with that piece of paper, I was then able to turn around and do a lot of things I need to do. For example, get my NIF. NIF is like your social security number, right? Identifies you as a legal person. You get that on a piece of paper called the Matrícula Fiscal. It's like a little piece of paper that you always have to pay and renew. Jacques George, good morning. AJ, appreciate you too. So the Matrícula Fiscal, sort of again, that's your social security card, right? And which is a little weird because you have to pay and renew it every year, whatever. And then once you have that, you're more or less illegal. You can do whatever you need to do in the country, from registering a business, from opening. Well, you can open a bank account without even being a citizen, but you can do the most important thing, which is start the business process on land directly. Start doing those sort of transactions directly as well. If you're trying to get a franchise, which is a thing that allows you to import in the country for free, you can do that. There's a lot of different things you can start doing once you have that. But the most important thing, really the 2 parts, is buying land and opening a business, that process right there. The reason why I started off by saying my story is a little unique is that I know a lot of folks in Haitian diaspora, they are trying to come and do business, but perhaps only their parents were Haitians, right? They were born in America. And so that process is a little different, but not that difficult. I know a few friends who were successful. And usually the first step you're going to do is you're going to go to your consulate office. If you're in Miami, New York, there's a consulate office. Like a consulate office is basically like an embassy, right? But not officially, but they do a lot of the same services there, right? So you go to a consulate, your local consulate office, you have a conversation with them, because each one has their own sort of processes, even though it's supposed to be one process, but each one has their own little process to do it. And usually what it involves in all cases is that you have to show proof that one of your parents is Haitian. So you got to bring your birth certificate. If it's an American birth certificate, that's fine, but it needs to have your parents' name on there. And then you bring your parents' birth certificates, and which would make it clear that they're Haitian citizens because they were born in Haiti. And then from there, the process varies. I hear some places you have to ask, they ask you to write a letter to why you want, it's really a passport. Why you want your passport. Once you have a passport, you're good. You're a citizen, right? For all intents and purposes, right? And so, why you want the passport, and et cetera. And you got to write a letter. Others, you just have to pay a fee. And so each one has their own process. So I can't really tell you exactly what that is. But your first step is to go to the consulate office and speak with them. But I've heard a lot of good things about that process. I've heard that it's more or less pretty streamlined and clear and easy to work with. So I don't expect you guys to have a very difficult time per se, but certainly it's a little different for someone who was born there versus someone who's not. All right, but it's still doable. And once you're here, once you have the passport, again, because I didn't follow that path, I can't really speak with you. But once you have the passport, how you actually then go around and get your, because what's important is getting that piece of paper from the National Archive. And so how that process works, I'm not totally clear because I didn't have to go through it. But the first step is having the passport. Once you have a passport, it's pretty straightforward. And then once you're in the city, you go to the National Archive, which is just one little place in Delma. There's one, I don't know if it's the place, but there's a place in Delma that you can go. And then it's free. There's no charge for it, by the way. You just walk in and say, hey, here's my passport. I'm a Haitian citizen. I need this piece of paper on National Archive. What do I need to do? And then they'll tell you what it is. You'll get it. And then from there, you can go to the DGE, which is our tax office, right? And then the tax office will take it from there and give you every other paperwork that you need. Of course, you have to pay some things, but at that level, there's not much corruption, right? Usually, it's pretty straightforward to get those initial pieces of paper, right? And then you're good, and then you're officially legal. Okay. So yeah, I think both these topics probably need their own video, certainly, with step by step, at least on what I can directly speak to. But I just wanted to engage and provide that information right away on a live for folks who are watching. I appreciate you guys for coming and watching on the live. And Mr. Terry, thanks again for asking these really great questions and comments. I always appreciate that, my brother. And so, but again, I promise you guys a video will be coming, and we'll lay it out in a much clearer, concise way for you guys to be able to reference in the future. All right, so I think we're done for today. Again, this week is going to be a little, we have a lot of content we're trying to put together this week, and this whole month might have a lot more lives this month than usual, just because we have a lot of stuff going on. But that's a good thing, right? At least until I can grow my video editing staff, right? And so, of course, if you want to help with that, I have a Patreon. Check out that Patreon at SeeJeanty, and whatever you provide goes to the show, and we'll have a very strong group of Patreon supporters. I can bring on another video editor, and we can do much more episodes concurrently and provide much more content. So again, if you guys are thinking about it, interested, want to see something grow, and you guys be direct shareholders and a part of that, again, go to my Patreon, SeeJeanty, right? And you'll be able to be a part of that. And beyond that, you already know, subscribe, follow, hit that notification, right? And we're gonna be at it every day, providing you great topical information, information that you can act on as an entrepreneur, and be a part of the change that Haiti needs. And so thank you guys. That is the end of today's episode, right? Until we're back at it again. I know somebody said it. We'll be back at it again. Peace.